Preparations are in full swing in Washington for Donald Trump's inauguration as the 45th President of the United States. But along with ceremony and celebrations, there will be protests. The largest protest is expected to be the Women's March on Washington the day after the inaugural.
This administration cannot ignore hundreds of thousands of people. This is going to be the largest mass mobilization that any new administration has ever seen on their first day. That's just the fact.
Democratic U.S. Representative Jan Schakowsky of Illinois told me it's crucial that women and men turn out.
The number of people who show up, women and men as well, will serve as a barometer of how serious are women in fighting back. How fierce is this opposition to taking away women's rights, women's health care, women's control of their own bodies. And so that's why I think attending, regardless of, I'm not sure exactly what the agenda will be, but regardless of that, I think women need to just be there to show that we are seriously against the kinds of cutbacks, the kinds of violations of our autonomy that we're seeing coming out of the Trump administration, out of the Republicans.
More than 200 civil rights organizations have partnered with march organizers, and there are nearly 300 sister marches planned for cities and communities across the country.
There is a very big backlash to what the Trump and Republican platform stands for. Women's groups, labor groups, civil rights groups, human rights groups, people who are concerned with the environment are coming together. We don't know where, what they'll try to push back, but we know one thing: we're not going back to another day. We're going to the future.
I march to normalize equality. I march to show that unity above all matters.
Lily Claire Nussbaum is helping organize buses to D.C. from New York. She stresses the march is important, but it's only the beginning.
What we want is to usher in our own new era. There's a new era being ushered in the White House on the 20th, and on the 21st, we want to usher in our new era of work and support and equality. We, in the New York City chapter, are really excited to begin our work, specifically getting more women and minorities into government office at a local level. Because how do you start? You start from the ground up. That's where we're planning to focus our energy immediately following the march.
The march will also contain a contingent of maybe 200 pro-life women who agree with the broad coalition of marchers on everything but abortion rights.
We felt like it was important to also sort of have a pro-life voice, a counterpart to that, not to argue, not to protest or anything, but we realize how valuable women's voices are, and so we just wanted to make ours heard as well.
On a recent video call, march organizers said this won't be just an anti-march.
This is also an exercise for communities to start envisioning the country that we want to live in and stop focusing just on fighting against all the injustices happening around us. This is a much more sophisticated level of organizing that we're bringing people to inspire them. We're not trying to enrage people more. We're trying to inspire people toward action.